cubic feet per second, which turns into about 7,000, or turns into about 3,500 gallons of water per second, which then turns into, I don't know, a bunch of water bottles. So we can figure it out if we wanted to.
Depends on the size of them.
Oh yeah, I suppose so, huh? So we also had another question of whether or not, or when is the water not flowing? Probably around 350 days a year. There is no water going over the top. So you guys are really lucky to be here right now, because we don't like to spill water over the edge, because we're spilling dollar bills over the front. Because if it's going over the front of the dam, then it's not going through a turbine. Then people say, well, why are we spilling water at all? That is because Lake Roosevelt is about a foot under full pool. So is Banks Lake. That means we can't pump water up there. The only other place to go is over the top of the dam, because there's a statistic, I'm not sure if it's factual, but they say about a foot of water higher in Lake Roosevelt behind the dam equates to about 30 miles of flooding in British Columbia. I don't know about you, but we try not to flood our neighbors to the north. We talked a lot about irrigation. Another thing to mention is in regards to flood control, that is where the Army Corps of Engineers takes over. Because before this dam, Portland often got hit with floods. Since then, they haven't been, and in regards to security, part of why this dam is so important is because we make sure Portland is always above water and they're not swimming with the fishies. That's another thing. In terms of electric production, as I said, in the original construction, we could only produce about 1,000 megawatts, maybe a little above that. But when we installed this third powerhouse, we were able to produce a lot more. But with larger generators, it also requires larger amounts of water. So that's the reason why we have this little bay-looking area, and also why you'll see a ton of driftwood. You'll see floaty toys from the beaches, because there's such a strong flow of water down this way that then goes into the penstocks and feeds into the turbines. And give it about a month, it'll be full, and they'll bring in a little tugboat to clean it all out. A couple last notes to talk about. We had someone ask, did anyone go over the top of the dam? 2 people have. One did willingly. The other one went over after their boat capsized and they were pulled over the top. So sad stuff. And in construction of the dam,